Okay, hello, I hope this is working. So I have yet another new stand because I guess I'm a bit of a collector now of cell phone stands. So yeah, that's a little crazy, I know. Sorry, I'm just a smidgen late. I was gathering stuff, grabbing the new stand, trying to see if I had everything. And I realized that I actually don't have an outlet that is within reach to where I could talk about the e-spinner out here. So sorry about that. I was going to grab like a battery pack. I don't know where the battery pack is. My husband had an extra one and I don't know where I put it, or he put it, one of the two of us. Anyway, but so I will talk a little bit about the e-spinner, but I won't get to show you the e-spinner in action because I failed slightly today on my prep for my live video. But anyway, so things that we need to talk about today. Slow yarn crawl, of course, is over. We are starting to make some preparations for next year, I think. Year of self-care is ongoing though, so don't forget your year of self-care. It's learn something new, even if it's something small. It's learn something new, so anything fiber related, and don't forget that like anything fiber related counts for your social media entries in the prize contest, because every month I draw a prize winner for our year of self-care, and it doesn't even have to be on theme. You just have to hashtag Black Sheep Fiber Emporium or hashtag BSFE for Black Sheep Fiber Emporium so I can find your post. That's really all it comes down to. So anyway, year of self-care is still ongoing. Now Missouri has finally decided that fall is on the way. Today it's like a high of 70. It's pleasant. I'm out on my back porch again, or my back deck again. It's much nicer. I had a little bit of a holy crap moment earlier today because I started separating a bunch of aloes that are out on the front porch, and at some point we'll move back out there. I'll have to show you all of the aloes that I have been accidentally propagating. I don't know why the aloes love me so much, but they do, and I have like 20 of them again, and I even gave one away today before I counted them. And still, anyway, lots of aloes. Alright, so having said all of that, there's a ton of new stuff on the website. I ordered more fun things from Japan that will be coming soon. Things that I didn't even get to demo or play with, so cross your fingers Kelly gets to actually demo one when they come in the next time. I'm ordering some really fun books. There's a bunch of pre-order books up, so if you haven't checked those out, please go check them out because I have to make that order very soon. That would be Andy the rooster saying hello with his little crow. I suppose I could show you the chickens if you really wanted to see them. We might do that later on. Okay, so let's talk about fiber prep. This isn't just for spin together. These are some like things that you could do anytime you are planning to spin, but especially if you are going to join us for spin together, please join us. We're Black Sheep Voyagers, and you don't have to like spin 30,000 yards or whatever in a week. No, we don't expect that. All we ask is that you try to spin consistently each day. So even if it's an hour, whatever. Yeah, totally fine by us. We're just like hanging out, having fun. Anyway, I'm going to be traveling and I'm judging a rabbit show, and so I'm going to do what I can, but oof, I have no idea what my yardage will be this year. Anyway. So before you actually sit down to spin, of course we talked about cleaning your wheel. Just a minute. Abby, enough! Don't know what's got the dog in a tizzy. Anyway, you do have to prep your fiber. Now there are different ways that you can prep your fiber. Of course there's blending boards, which make beautiful roll eggs. There are things like hand cards. So these guys, hand cards. Which again make little roll eggs like this, or there's combs. You can also comb, and you can pull your fiber through a diz off the combs and get, you know, just beautiful, beautiful roving, ready to go. It's combed top at that point, I suppose, or yeah, anyway, something like that. I don't do a lot of combing, and I don't think I've actually ever done any combing. No, I'm pretty sure I've always done carding. But anyway, then there's people like me. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of have some fiber. This whole thing is full of fiber. There might be 2 of them. So, I like to buy mostly braids or prepared roving. I don't enjoy the process of taking my fleece from fresh off the sheep to spinnable something. It's not my cup of tea. There's a lot of people out there who love that. I'm not one of them. I prefer to have like fun stuff come to me, like this really pretty bat from Dunspun. Yeah. I'm trying to see. I only have a couple left because I spun most of these. So yes, bats, lots of fun. And then, of course, the braids of roving that I could just wear like a scarf anyway. And this one I think is actually my friend Shannon from Singing Raven. So, whoop. Yes, Brooke, I only have 2 because they are stuffed full. I also have a small cabinet downstairs. I did make a large dent in my spinning stash prior to leaving Oregon. I spun quite a bit, and then last year, oh, this is nice and warm now. It's nice and warm. Maybe I'll just start wearing my roving like this. Who needs to spin it? I'll just wear it like a scarf. Just wear it like a scarf, man. Yes, I know, I am a little weird. It's okay. Anyway. Yeah, isn't this pretty? Yeah, so I then again made a pretty big dent in my stash last year. However, I then started to add to my stash, and thus the double storage was built, because I used to use actually a small kitchen island with little cabinets, and I would shove it full of fiber, but it's downstairs, and I've brought my one wheel upstairs, and so I don't, yeah, anyway, so I've done this now. In the top of my closet I have my little stash. So anyway, that being said, if you are starting with any kind of roving, something like this, you are going to want to fluff your fiber. So let's pick, clearly I like to wear this one. Let's see. Yeah, so we do have some hand dyed at the shop. We haven't done as much as I had hoped. Tina has been doing most of the dyeing with the fiber that she has available there at the shop. That's kind of where all of our fiber is. I, of course, have the toddler. It's not that I couldn't do any dyeing, it's just that it's not quite as easy for me as it is for her. So yeah, that's kind of where I am on the dyeing. But I do love to support other fiber artists. So if you happen to be part of the Black Sheep Voyagers, there is a code that you received in your email, and that code is good for 10% off all of the fiber. And pretty much everything except the spinning wheels in the spinning section. So I'm just going to throw that out there. We do have some fiber available. But I tend to support my friends who are hand dyers. Mostly Shannon with Singing Raven and Heather with Pearly Shell. But I have a hard time turning down pretty fiber. So not going to lie about that. Anyway. When you go to get ready for your spin together, I think it's always better to have too much fiber instead of not enough fiber. So if you're at all worried that you might run out during the week, go buy more. This is your permission to go buy more fiber, because I spun so much more than I thought I would last year, and I had pulled out I think 3 or 4 bundles of fiber. It wasn't all braids, but 3 or 4 bundles of fiber, and in the end I spun far more than I anticipated. So what that meant was I didn't have my fiber prepped. Like, I didn't have all of my fiber prepped. So when I say it's time to start prepping your fiber, what I really mean is it's time to start choosing most of the braids, and you may change your mind, but most of the braids or the fleece or the bats that you'll be working with, if you're making Rolags, just go to town over the next like 10 days and make a pile of Rolags so that you don't have to stop to make Rolags. You can just spin during spin together. If you're going to be using prepared fibers, what you'll need to do is choose which ones you want. And then a lot of times I like to weigh my braid. I know I'm a little bit weird, but I keep track of these things. So I like to weigh my braid, and I should take the tag off, but so I actually have a scale. See if you can see it. Yeah, there's my bowl. I have a scale and a bowl over here, and I have 4.2 ounces with the tag on, so I should probably take the tag off. But I didn't bring scissors out here. See, I just wasn't quite prepared. Anyway, and then the next thing that I'm going to do, and I'll probably reweigh this, is I'm just going to start pulling my fiber apart, and I need to decide what I want to do with this. If I'm going to chain ply it, or if I'm going to use a center pull ball, then I can just immediately start fluffing my fiber. I do not have to do anything else to it, because I'm going to spin a single off of this anyway, and this is how I want it. If I want a 2-ply, I need to decide how I'm going to split it. So that might mean that I would split it this way. It might mean that I would you know, measure half and pull it apart and spin that way. Now a lot of times I like to keep the color transition a little more the way that it was dyed. So a lot of times I will pull my braids in half, and the next part is that you start fluffing them up, fluffing them out. So that means that we are going to take our braids and we are literally going to fluff our fiber out just like this, and then very gently roll it back up. And I like to store them in paper bags or plastic bags, because I am going to be getting to them pretty quickly, so that I have my fiber ready to go. But I'll pull them both apart, I'll weigh them out, I'll make sure that, you know, they weigh about the same. If I'm going to do a 2-ply or a 3-ply, I'll do the same thing. I start pulling them apart, and I want to weigh them. And when I go to weigh it, you can just roll it into the bowl if you want, or you can roll it up and put it in like it's a ball of fiber. Totally up to you. And then I'm just going to fluffity fluff, 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 fluff. And the reason that I want to do this is because your fiber compacts when it is being shipped, your fiber compacts when it's dyed, your fiber compacts from the mill to the dyer. So it loses air, and you can find that it becomes a little harder to spin because you don't have the loftiness that you need in your oh, I gotta turn this off, there we go, in your fiber. So this is what I'm going to do, is I'm going to pick out all the fiber that I want to spin, and I'm going to prep it so that I know that, and I'm going to put post-it notes in with all my fiber too, and the card, so I don't lose it, because this is a lot of good information here, so you don't want to lose these. And I write down what my intentions are as well. And I know it seems like overkill, but when you are like on Wednesday during spin together, and you no longer recall exactly what you were doing with the fiber that you were spinning, it's really handy to be able to look at a notebook or even an online little note taker or whatever, and see, oh, well, I was going to take that Singing Raven Farm organic Polworth silk, color number 49, and I was making a 2-ply out of that. So I know that I have 2 singles that I need to do, and I need to ply that together. The other thing is that a lot of spinners will go ahead and they'll spin a ton of singles at the beginning of spin together, and then they will do plied yarns later on as we get towards the end of spin together. So a lot of times that Saturday is like the plying session, because everybody is plying, trying to get as many yards as they can plied off so they can finish their yarns and so they can measure them, because you do have to be done spinning at like noon. If you aren't done with a bobbin or with your roving, you can always tie a little piece of string on it so that you know where you stopped, and then you can measure out your yardage from there. So you know, there are tricks to get around like having issues measuring your yardage. So anyway, you want to fluff, 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 fluff. and bag and mark and write down what you intend to do. Sticky notes are your friend. Plastic bags, paper bags, just some way that you can keep all of your pre-prepped fiber together so that you are ready to go and you can just spin the whole week. Now, when I'm normally spinning, and here's my part of my stash right there, big old stash, right? When I am usually spinning, a lot of times what I do is I go to my stash for inspiration. I pick out something fun, and I work on just one thing at a time. I don't work on multiples, so I don't have to worry as much about writing down all of them at the same time. I'll just write down the one that I'm working on. But I do have a notebook that I keep, and I write down if I'm intending to make a 3-ply, or if I'm intending to do a chain ply, or if I'm intending to do a 2-ply, or if I decided that I'm going to make a center pull ball and ply. And I write all of that down, and if I change my mind, I just, mark it out and write in the new thing. It's not a big deal, but it gives me a little bit of a guideline for what my brain was intending with the fiber that I'm using. Now, if you are just like getting into spinning and you've never done any kind of competition spinning like this and you don't know what to do, my suggestion to you is to go ahead and again, buy more fiber than you think you need, and make sure that you do it this week so that it's in hand. You want to put your orders in today or tomorrow so that you have them in hand before the competition starts. And you want to make sure that you start prepping your fiber just as soon as you get it, fluffing it out, and just spin singles. If you're worried about it, you can just spin singles. You can measure it off and cake it as you go, and that's totally fine. And then you can decide if you want to center pull, ball ply it, or chain ply it, or 2-ply it with something else, or 3-ply it with something else later. So those are some of my best tips for spin together and prepping. Now the other part of this is I wanted to talk about the e-spinner, and I do apologize that I didn't think about having an outlet. That was perhaps not very good on my part, but whatever, things happen. So anyway, let me see if I can figure out how to do this. Hey, blue skies smiling at me. Yep, nothing but blue skies. Oh, and a green umbrella. Do I see? Okay. All right, there we go. So here we are. Here's my little e-spinner, and hopefully this will work okay. Like I said, I just got a brand new stand to try working with. So, all right, so here's my little e-spinner. I happen to have a Nano. This is an electric eel wheel Nano. When you look at this guy, it has a Z and an S switch. It has an on-off switch, and this is your speed as well. This is where your plug goes in, whether you are using the outlet plug or if you're plugging it into a battery. Here's your orifice, your bobbin. This is your drive band here, drive band, and your brake band right there. And I haven't done anything. I have some plans to kind of upgrade some of this and do some different things with it, but I haven't gotten it done yet. I've got too many things I'm doing. But I was testing some Shetland on here. I was spinning it, and my little machine works. Now, some things that I noticed, I've got some dust on here, so if you have an e-spinner, it's been a while since you've used it, do make sure that you wipe all of the dust off, because we don't want dust getting in our motor. If you have been using your e-spinner extensively, do make sure that you check your brake band as well as your drive band, just to make sure that you don't have any wear spots where your brake band or your drive band could break during spin together, because that would be a travesty if you didn't have an extra. If you don't have an extra of either one of those, you may want to order one. Make sure that you have extra orifice hooks if you don't have, well, this is a very small orifice hook for a small orifice, but make sure you've got extra orifice hooks just in case you lose one. Let's see, battery packs are really nice if you're going to be traveling, because again, you can run your e-spinner from a battery pack. I really like my little Nano here. I should use it more than what I do. I know it has the original motor on it, and I probably need to replace that with an updated motor. But that's beyond just regular maintenance. It's also good to make sure that you don't have lint caught anywhere on your flyer, under your bobbin. And I can show you how to take the Nano apart. So this one, the drive band pops off of the large wheel and the small wheel, and hang on while I move my fiber. And then these just pop apart, just like this. And then this comes off, and you just want to make sure that you don't have lint or fuzz or junk caught up under here. And then you can put your end back on, and again, put it all back together. And then your brake band goes back on down here. And this is a stretchy one. It allows you to adjust the tension. There are some things I'd like to do. I'm going to replace this with a little different setup at some point. I just haven't gotten it done. And then your drive band goes here, and hang on, and it gets pulled down around here. So that's the Nano drive band and brake band and assembly. Anyway, yeah, I really like my little Nano. It's a cute little machine. And I did do the Kickstarter on this, so yes, I can be suckered into Fiber Arts Kickstarters. So anyway, let me talk more. Does anybody have questions about maintenance on your electric spinners, your e-spinners? Probably not. All right, there we go. All right, any questions about fiber prep that you want me to answer? Like, what do I do if I want to do fractal spinning? Or what do I do if I want to do a 4-ply? No, nobody? Anyway. Well, there's all kinds of fun things that you can do with your plying. And my fiber. I really like fiber. What can I say? I like my fiber. I don't usually spin with a specific item in mind to make. So I don't spin with the intention of weaving the product or knitting the product or crocheting the product or felting the product. Like I don't spin with the intention of what my end product will be most of the time, except in the case of socks. If I'm going to be making socks, I do spin a very intentional 3-ply on my socks, and I spin specific fibers in a specific way. And the reason I do that is because I want my socks to wear well. And you should always knit your socks at a little tighter gauge than you think, because again, the wear on socks is very hard. Because, you know, they're on our feet and we're hitting them against the ground all day long. So, really important thing to think about for socks. But most of the time I spin because I want to spin and I'm just having fun with it. And then I decide what to do with the product afterwards. So after spin together, we'll talk about how to finish your skeins. We'll talk about like weighing your skeins and checking the yardage, because you do have shrinkage from the initial yardage that you measure versus the final yardage that you measure. And I actually I supported the Kickstarter for the electric eel wheels yarn counter. I am excited to get that. I think it'll be a great addition to the things that I already use for making yarn. And I think that'll be really fun when it does come next year, so that I can show you the yardage of fresh, raw yarn versus washed and dried, processed yarn. And sometimes your shrinkage isn't very much. You know, you might lose 10 or 20 yards all told. Sometimes your shrinkage is huge and you lose like 50 yards. It just kind of depends on how much you've spun and your fiber content, the way you spun it, the way you finished it. Because when you are finishing it, you can also accidentally full or intentionally full your fiber. So that is something that, oh, hang on, I want to park my fiber again. So that is something that we have to take into consideration. So anyway, yeah, I don't know, hopefully this helps somebody. I don't know, a lot of times I feel I just talk and I just hope that it helps somebody, that I say something that makes sense to someone. Anyway, so as you are prepping for your spin together, do make sure that you have gone to the website and you've read the rules, that you have joined your team, that your team has connected with you via your email and your Ravelry or Facebook group. Important things there. Make sure that you have fiber. Maybe go buy some more. A little bit more. And then start prepping all of your fiber so that you know what you want to spin, and you are ready to go for Spin Together. And you can just pick up your next fluffed bundle and head on out. And like I said, make sure you mark it. Post-it notes are excellent for fiber. You can drop regular notes in as well, but I like to post-it note inside and outside the bag. Sometimes I staple it to the bag if I'm really worried about losing it. And again, I'm bagging it because I have to fluff it so that it's ready to go. So that's kind of my thought process on the whole, like, bag it, tag it. And make notes, lots of notes. Like, this is, you know, if I'm going, this one I'm actually going to do now because I've started fluffing it. So, you know, I'll put Singing Raven Farm, I'll put the content and the percentages, I'll put the weight, I'll put the color number, and then I'll put my intentions on what I intend to do with it. And this one's going to be a 2-ply because I've already started pulling it apart for a 2-ply, and that just seems easy. So I'll put down that I want to 2-ply it, and I know that that'll eat up 2 bobbins. So, and I think I've got, how many bobbins do I have? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I've got 8 bobbins, maybe 9, could be 7. Well, whatever. You can never have enough bobbins either. So if you haven't ordered bobbins, you know, now's a great time to get that done as well, because you might need some bobbins. Just throwing that out there too. Anyway, and if you need Kromsky and you need Kromsky bobbins, go hit up the website and make sure that you get your order in so that I can get that drop shipped directly to you from Kromsky. Toot sweet. That way we make sure you have it before Spin Together starts or soon after Spin Together starts, because I don't want you to run out of bobbins. It's a very important thing here. Don't run out of bobbins. What else do I need to tell you? I don't know. Those are kind of some of my best practices. Don't forget to take breaks as well when you're spinning. Every 20 minutes you should be taking a break, even if it's just to drink a little water or to get up and stretch. Actually, anytime you're crafting or doing anything for a long period of time, every 20 minutes you should be getting up and stretching. Just to take care of your body. Last month, remember, it was mindfulness, taking care of your body. So this month, even though it's learned something new, I do want to reiterate you need to take care of yourself. So on that note, remember, next Monday we are going back to the Stitch Along. Wednesday we'll be talking everything about Spin Together again. It'll be my last minute tips for Spin Together. I've tried to give you most of them early on because it does take time to prepare. But it'll be my last minute tips for Spin Together. And then we'll get into Spin Together the 2nd through the 9th. The 4th, I am probably going to be driving. I doubt that I will have a video, but I'll try to do one on Tuesday and Wednesday that week instead of Monday and Wednesday. And I may just randomly go live while I'm spinning at various times, so if you want to like pop on and spin with me or hang out, that might happen. There's a good chance that'll happen. So anyway, so much to do. So much to do to prepare. Anyway, until next week, do please take care of yourself. Remember, Black Sheep for all of your shopping needs. If you can't find something, let me know. I'll try to find it. But yeah, we are tootling along and trying to make sure we have a little something for everybody. And I got in some really, really cute little embroidery kits and some adorable little needle minders. I have unicorn needle minders. I'm just mentioning the unicorns. It's very handy. Like, I could even keep my little orifice hook up here on my needle minder because it's anyway, it's a magnet. Yeah, and they're nice for tatting as well. You can use those needle minders because you can like clip them to your shirt, and then you can throw your short crochet hooks up on the needle minder, so they're always available for you when you're tatting. I mean, I'm just, you know, trying to help you out a little bit, a little smidgen, and myself, because I accidentally ordered some more unicorn needle minders and we already had a couple. Anyway, yeah, they're super cute little unicorns. Yeah. Okay, so don't forget to please take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, and craftually, as I like to say. Tell all your friends about Spin Together. Tell them about Year of Self-Care. Tell them about the stitch along that I have going on. I do have one kit that has not been ordered yet on the star maps that I could still send out. I have sent out all of the other pre-orders. I only have a few orders left that are not filled, and that's because I'm waiting on my shipment from Japan, but I put my order in last night. So, cross your fingers. That will be here reasonably soon. They're usually pretty fast for me. I really like my Japanese supplier. They are wonderful to work with, and I've told them that. So anyway, until next week, take care of yourself, and get crafty. Just go get crafty. It's fall, and this is my favorite time of year. It's my favorite season, and I love fall. I love fall. I love the crisp mornings. I love the warm afternoons. I love the rain and the sunshine and the big white fluffy clouds and a beautiful blue sky that I get in the fall, like I have right now. It's like a perfect fall day for me. It's a little bit crisp. I can wear my long sleeve shirts and just be happy, just for a little bit. So anyway, take care of yourself. I'll see you Monday. Bye.